Welcome. This is going to be the missed payment survival guide. All right, let's talk about a question that probably makes your stomach drop a little bit, right? All right, and it's a question that I get a little bit more often than I like, so I want to address it here so you know and have this knowledge. And that question is, what happens if I miss a payment on my final expense policy? It's the end of the world, right? I know it's a terrifying thought. Right? You feel like you've done the right thing. Been a responsible adult. You've been adulting. You got your policy in place, and then life be lifing. Life happens. Maybe a bill gets lost in the mail, or a bank account just happens to be a little light that month. Do you lose everything? Is the question. Does all that hard work go right out the window? Now, short answer is no, not right away. But in this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide to what happens when you miss a payment, and what your safety nets are, and what you can do to make sure this never becomes a problem. Because a missed payment doesn't have to be the end of your policy. All right, so let's talk about your first safety net, which is your grace period. Now, the first thing you need to know about a final expense policy, or any life insurance policy really, is that they all come with a built-in safety net. And this safety net is called the grace period. Now, you could think of the safety net, the grace period, as a timeout. All right, it's a timeout for your payment, though. It's basically a buffer zone. It's typically 30 to 31 days long, and that starts the day after your premiums due. During this grace period, your policy is still 100% active. Your coverage is still in force. If something were to happen to you during this time, your death benefit would still be paid out to your family, of course, minus the missed premium. Now, this basically is the insurance company saying, hey, we know life gets a little crazy. We know you've been paying. We got you. Just get that payment in as soon as you can. The solution is actually simple, though. Just pay the premium within that 30-day window, and it's like nothing ever happened. But now, let's talk about after the grace period and the consequences of a lapse. So you heard the good part. You heard that you can get everything kind of squared away. But what happens if you happen to miss the grace period deadline? Now, this is where things get a little more serious. When the grace period ends and the premium still hasn't been paid, your policy will lapse. A lapse means your policy is no longer in force, the coverage is gone, and at that point, the insurance company has no obligation to pay a death benefit to you. And basically, all that money you've paid into it at that point, poof, it's gone. Now, this is a scenario that we want to avoid at all costs, but don't panic just yet. Because even then, you might still have options. Your policy might have a reinstatement clause. Might have a reinstatement clause. Now, this would mean that you have a chance to bring it back to life. But it's not a free pass. To reinstate a policy, you'll likely have to pay all the premiums you missed, plus the interest on them, the back pay, right? And you may even have to answer a health questionnaire again to prove that you're still in good health. All right, so now let's take some time to talk about what I like to say is your policy's secret weapon, the cash value. So now here's a pro tip. It's a tip that most people don't know. Might as well let you know. I give you the secret sauce. Since most final expense policies are a form of whole life insurance, they have a small built-in cash value that grows over time. Now, this cash value isn't just a savings account that you can borrow from. It's a tool to protect your policy. Many policies have what we call an automatic premium loan feature. This is an awesome safety valve. If you miss a payment and you don't pay it within the grace period, the policy will automatically use the accumulated cash value to pay the premium for you. Now, essentially, this is a loan against your own policy, and it keeps your coverage from lapsing. And it will continue to do this as long as there's enough cash value to pay the premiums. Really, I consider, man, this is a lifesaver. And it's a great reason to make sure that, when you are sitting down and making your policy, you want to make sure that your policy has this feature. Now let's move along to the Prevention Playbook, how to never miss a payment. As important as it is to know, what to do if you just so happen to, I don't know, miss a payment, like we've been talking about, it's actually even more important that you actually never miss one in the first place. So we never have to even, deal with this. You actually have complete control over this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you out now and give you your complete playbook. All right, so here's your playbook. Number one, set up automatic payments. Now, this is the easiest and most effective way to avoid a lapse. You set it and forget it. You remember the commercials? Set it and forget it? Yeah. Most insurance companies have an option to automatically deduct the premium from your bank account or credit card. You can choose annual or quarterly payments. Yeah. And if you can afford it, paying annually or quarterly actually reduces the number of times you have to even think about the payment from 12 times a year to just 1 or 4. All right. Now, many companies even give you a small discount for doing so. Now, you can also appoint a secondary contact. Your agent or family member should know the policy exists and have the contact info. Now, if the company, they can't reach you, they'll reach out to the next person on file. Stay in touch with your agent. Your agent is an ally. If you know that you're going to have a tight month, if you're going to be out running errands or you're going to have more work to do than usual, give them a call. They can often help you explore options and prevent a lapse before it happens and you miss that payment. And lastly, if you're really concerned, Golden Wings, we've got your back. The peace of mind you get from a final expense policy is fragile. It's only there as long as the policy is actually enforced. Now, my job as your insurance agent is to make sure that you never have to worry about a missed payment. Never have to worry about turning that into a canceled policy. We actually help you set up automatic payments, and then we're there for you if you ever have a question. Because to us, your legacy is too important to be lost over a forgotten bill. You know, so if you're ready, if this sounds good to you, if this makes sense to you, and you're ready to get this sorted out right away, call us directly at our toll-free number, 888-886-7860. Now, with this, you'll get a free, no obligation chat, and I'll basically help you review a policy and make sure that everything is set up correctly, those automatic payments and all.